Last night, the Pirates struck early, 2 homers in the first inning, 4 runs that held up in a 4-3 Pittsburgh win. Matt Latos tonight. A cat may have 9 lives. Latos trying to kill a 9-game losing streak. This game's never been perfect. Fasten your seatbelts. More fun about to come. Welcome to Petco Park. Another summer-like evening here in May in San Diego. Game 2 of the 3-game series, the Pittsburgh Pirates and the San Diego Padres. And good evening, everyone, along with Mark Grant, Dick Enberg. Pleased that you're aboard. Last night, another one-run game, unfortunately, for San Diego this year. They're 2-6 in those close contests as the Pirates broke a 2-year, 9-game losing streak to San Diego. And this is a different Pittsburgh team from the one everyone pummeled the last few years.
The last 18 years, a record below 500. They're trying to change that. Well, how do you do it? You get some good young talent, you get some good pitching. We saw some good young talent and good pitching last night from James McDonald. What had it working for the old right-hander? Usually he's wild. I'll tell you what, he had the number 2 working, curveball to Venable, curveball to Maben. This is staff, fewer hits, 79 than innings pitched at 90, and with a starting rotation with the average age of 28, these numbers look pretty good. They're starting to turn it around in the Steel City.
Well, look at that, 105 losses last year. They're 14-15 this year. Win tonight, they're at 500. They're just a couple of games out of first place. ERA has dropped from 5 even for the entire last year down to 3.63, and the batting average has impacted as well.
The one thing that really sticks out, we saw McDonald last night. They've got the veteran Kevin Correa, but we saw 3 quality arms out of that Pirate bullpen last night. Had some good stuff. I'm talking about stuff that's sharp-breaking to both sides of the plate. They've got a good closer also, Joel Hanrahan. So if they can get the lead late in the ball game, they got a pretty good chance. This is a nice little team they've got in Pittsburgh.
Matt Latos, so hungry for a win tonight. I guess, if anything, he'd be guilty of wanting it too much.
I think sometimes Matt Latos has a tendency to press out there. I think it's between the ears with Matt Latos. His mechanics are fine. The stuff is there. He needs to get a little support tonight. You know, last night, timeout, they got an error behind him, led to some unearned runs. But Matt definitely needs a big outing tonight to win a ball game.
Well, talk about runs. The last 2 times he's pitched, Philadelphia beat the Padres 2-0. Last time, Atlanta 7-0. So he hasn't gotten a single run in his last 2 outings. Well, let's look at the pitching matchup for tonight. Here are the starters. Jeff Karstens. He's born in San Diego, went to Grossmont College. He's 2-1, a 3.57 ERA. And for Latos, 0-4, his ERA just under 5 a game. And our pitching matchup is brought to you by Discount Tire, where America saves on tires. We're set to go. Starting lineup, opening pitch coming up. Padres get ready to work at Petco Park against the Pittsburgh Pirates on a beautiful night. Look at the umpires even. They're in short sleeve shirts. That's the first time we've seen that attire this year. A look at Matt Latos now. The pitcher profile brought to you by your San Diego County Cadillac dealer. Stop in for attractive lease and purchase offers. Well, the youngest on the staff at 23. And he's almost embarrassed by that 0-4 mark. Now, last time, after struggling in an inning where he gave up 1 run and 4 others that were unearned, he got his act together. He pitched at a faster rhythm. He got the ball and got it up there instead of thinking about every pitch and kind of slowing down his rhythm, and it seemed to work for him.
I think that's a great point. In the pregame show, I mentioned about how mechanically Matt Latos is very sound. It's between the ears. And face it, folks, believe me, any pitcher has been in that situation to where you start thinking about each and every pitch. Matty's lost each of his 4 starts this season in each of his last 9 dating back to September 12th of last year. So, yeah, it plays with your mind a little bit, but Matt's got to grab that rock right now and start from the first pitch knowing that he's in charge and try to turn it around right here, right now.
Most of last season, hitters barely batted 200 against Latos. In his 4 starts this year, they're hitting a collective 303. Let's see how it goes tonight as Andrew McCutchen, the center fielder, leads it off for Pittsburgh. 217 average, 5 home runs. Ball outside on the opening pitch. Running a 93-mile-an-hour fastball away from the right-handed batter. Fastball for a strike, 1-1. Xavier Paul on deck, and then Garrett Jones. Jones lit the fuse last night with a 2-run homer in the first off Harang. 2-1.
Looks like Matt's trying to pick up that tempo like you mentioned, Dick. He's getting that ball, getting right up that rubber, looking for the next sign from Rob Johnson.
And he falls behind 3-1, and that's been another problem for him in his 21 2/3 innings. He's allowed 10 walks along with those 5 home runs. On the outside corner says Chris Guccione. Guccione behind the plate in his 4th year in the major leagues. One of his hobbies is making wine. That one slapped foul.
Hopefully it's tonight that Matt Latos is making these buckos wine.
I like that. 3-2 again, and it's way upstairs, and the leadoff man on with a walk. Here is the Pittsburgh Pirate lineup of Clint Hurdle, McCutchen, then Paul, the ex-Dodger. Garrett Jones hits 3rd. Neil Walker at cleanup. Lyle Overbay at first base. Chris Snyder, the catcher, hit 6th. Pedro Alvarez at 3rd, bat 7th. Ronnie Cedinho 8th, and Jeff Karstens, the pitcher, bats 9th. There's the first-year skipper of the Pirates, Clint Hurdle, formerly at Colorado. Bunted in the air and dropped, and everyone's safe. Cantu comes down and somehow couldn't catch that ball on the dive. And a bad start for the Padres. A walk and a 40-foot single. On a bad bunt, he gets a hit.
Oh, was right there for Jorge Cantu. It didn't even have to go full extension with his glove hand. Just boxed it. Wow.
How can that be a hit?
I guess they're taking into consideration him having to dive, and I mean, very makeable play, no doubt about that. And I'll bet you Jorge would say, you know what, I need to get that ball. I need to pick up my pitcher. Now the Pirates have a little bit of a rally here.
Garrett Jones hitting 280, 2-run homer, first at bat last night, and takes a strike. McCutchen at second and Paul at first, both with excellent speed. Jones, home run is 6th to lead the Buccos, and a dozen RBIs in the young season. Off speed, a curveball and a good one. 0-2.
Okay, here's what we were talking about, putting guys away. 0-2 as we take a look at that last curveball. That is a great curveball right down the heart of the plate. I'll see if he can bury one, or you know what? How about coming up and in, just moving his feet a little bit.
You know, Tim Stauffer's about the only pitcher on the Padres staff that's done that when he's ahead on the count. That one right down the middle.
Got to be careful there. I'm not saying hit a guy, but I'm just saying move his feet a little bit. And you're right. Remember Tim Stauffer doing that.
Get him off the plate. Make him think about something.
And after doing that, you can do so many things as a pitcher. You can go back in there, double up. You can go soft away.
2-strike pitch coming up.
He wants this one in the dirt.
Got him. Curveball. First strikeout for Latos. He does have 25 strikeouts in his 22 innings. Now 26 Ks in 22 innings this year. So he hasn't lost that. Padres defense is brought to you by Big O Tires. That's the team you trust. Call 1-800-NEW-TIRE. Cantu, Bartlett on the left side. Hudson and Hop on the right side of the infield. Ludwig, Maben, Venable in the outfield, with Rob Johnson getting the start behind the plate tonight, handling Latos. 1 out. And here's switch hitting Neil Walker, the second baseman. And the curveball out of the zone. Pittsburgh native, very popular player, this young fellow Walker. Good hitter, 286 average to start the season. Leads the club with those 14 RBIs. Hit well to center field. Maben racing back, all the way back to the wall, and it's against the wall. Here comes McCutchen to score, and right behind him Xavier Paul, and it's a 2-0 lead. First inning for Pittsburgh again, as Walker sends a laser over the head of Cameron Maben in center field.
Well, Neil Walker last night singled. This time he goes straight up the gut, and look at the location. Rob Johnson wanted it in, and we talked about it in the pregame show about missing with location. No matter how hard you throw, if it's down the heart of the plate, you will get hurt at times, and Matt got hurt on that last pitch.
So a 1-out double that knocks in 2 for Walker, now with 16 RBIs. And here's Lyle Overbay, former Blue Jay, hitting 225. Off speed, in for a strike. Threw him a change to start this sequence.
Not a bad pitch to start him off.
So the walk, leadoff walk, immediately comes around to bite Latos, and then the bunt single, question mark. That also becomes a run. Change up. 2-1. We forget, because of all his success last year, just how young Latos is at 23. Youngest player on the entire roster. That ball hit well to right center. Venable on his horse to the wall and makes the catch. Walker was halfway to third, now tags and goes to third, and will beat the relay. Venable, an awkward catch in deep right center as Overbay just missed his second home run of the year.
Oh, he put a charge into that one, and I'll be quite honest with you. As soon as this ball was hit, I thought it had a chance going out. Matt Latos' reaction was like, okay, how far is it going to go? But Will Venable into Cox Alley makes the one-handed grab and backpedaling, puts him on his backside.
You know, it's a good thing that Walker was not tagging on the play. Had he might have been able to go all the way home.
Absolutely.
Venable had to pick himself up, make a throw, then a relay. And Walker moves to third.
You make a good point, because I think in a situation like that, a ball, especially in this ballpark, you go that deep into right center field, and you see a guy backpedaling that, go back and tag up.
Ooh, good stop by Johnson on that breaking ball in the dirt.
Because, A, if he catches it, you're going to probably score, like you said. And if he doesn't catch it, you're going to score. You're going to score regardless.
Chris Snyder homered into the left field seats last night. His first of the season in the first inning. And he hits a high fly ball Maben on cruise control. Venables there first, and he makes the catch in right center. But just like last night, the Pirates take the early lead. 2 runs on 2 hits, and a man left at third. Series, 2 pitchers, both from Grossmont College, go against San Diego. The right-hander Jeff Karstens, and then tomorrow Kevin Correa both went to Grossmont College. Karstens is 28 years of age, a couple years younger than Correa. Hitting leadoff tonight is Jason Bartlett with Hudson and Ludwig to follow here in the first inning. Padres find themselves down early 2-0. Could never recover last night from a 4-run first inning, as Karsten sends it outside. 2-0. Went to Mount Miguel High School. 2-1 this year, off to a good start. 3.57 ERA. There's a strike. Against the Padres, however, he's 0-3 in 4 games, 2 of them starts, and a high ERA of 5.65. Another strike. 2-2.
Well, Karstens is a guy that will pitch to contact. He's not going to overpower anybody. In fact, he's got 5 pitches: fastball, change curve, slider, and a cutter.
Chop foul. We understand Minnesota's Francisco Liriano has a no-hitter alive into the bottom of the 9th inning against the struggling Chicago White Sox.
I can just hear Ozzie Guillen right now.
We'll follow up on that to see if he completes the no-no. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. So deja vu all over again, as Yogi would say. Just like last night, the Pirates score a couple. Of leadoff man for San Diego strikes out in the bottom half of the first inning. Here is the starting lineup, brought to you by Evans Tire and Service Centers, home of the free alignment. Bartlett, Hudson, Ludwig. Cantu with a 2-run homer last night. Then Maben hitting 5th. Brad Hopp in a modest 6-game hitting streak. Rob Johnson bats 7th. Will Venable from leadoff down to 8th in the order, and then Matt Latos. Hudson hitting .224 from the left side. .237 overall. Right down the middle, 86 miles an hour.
And you know, I just want to elaborate, and that 86 miles an hour brings up the point I want to make regarding pitching to contact. You hear that phrase quite a bit, and what I think it means is that when a pitcher doesn't have overpowering stuff, he moves the ball around quite a bit, and he basically wants the hitter to make an early out, whether it's one of the first 2 pitches or maybe 3 pitches. You throw a little sinker, a little slider, hoping that they put it into play, therefore you can go deeper into the ball game. Karstens isn't going to be a guy who's going to be striking out, 300 guys in a season. So the fewer pitches he can throw in the count and get an out, that works to his advantage.
Just like James McDonald last night. He threw time and time again, that first pitch, first strike. Dared you to hit it. 2-2. Hudson hits it high and deep to right center field. That's a long run for Garrett Jones and McCutchen, and the ball is off the base of the wall. Turning and holding and pulling up with a possible injury, Orlando Hudson. That looks all of the part of a right hamstring pull, as he was thinking about trying for 3 with 1 out, which is the play. And sometimes those muscle yanks and hamstrings can be troublesome for more than just a day. That's too bad.
Well, he hit the ball extremely well. Got great extension, beating the shift. And how far it hits the base of the fence and where he pulls up. Let's see. Oh, right before he gets to second base, he pulls up and grabs the upper right hamstring just below that back right pocket. And looking at the way he's reacting out there with Paul Navarro and Bud Black, hopefully it's just a temporary thing that kind of grabbed him a little bit. But
you got to come out. You just can't risk the fact you're going to aggravate that. If you pulled that muscle, you want to get in there, ice it, get it taken care of as soon as you can.
Yeah, you're right. His reaction right now, I can't see him going with the way he's kind of hobbling right now.
No, he's going to go right back into the training room. So that's a shame. Hudson with a ringing double off the base of the fence, nearly a home run, and then pulls up lame on the hamstring pull.
Well, he's in good hands as Eric Patterson trots out to second base. Paulie Navarro, Todd Hutchison, those guys in that training room, the best.
And they'll go to work on that immediately, and that's the right call.
And you know what, Dick? It might be a thing to where it grabs him a little bit. It might not be that serious, but you make a good point. You want to get him out of there. You don't want, it's a short spurt game, baseball, second base. A short spurt to the right, to the left, out of the batter's box. So if that thing's grabbing you now, you don't want to irritate it anymore.
And that's an excellent point, that you may feel okay the next time you're at bat and you make contact and you take that quick step to get out of the batter's box, then you yank it again. All right, Ryan Ludwig comes up with a chance to pick up a run here. 1 out in the pinch runner Patterson at second base. Ludwig with an RBI last night, now leads the team with 13. Fouls it back. Hitting .210 now. Hudson not going immediately back down the tunnel into the locker room. That surprises me.
Maybe he just wants to take a little blow on the bench there, and Paul Navarro evaluating him a little bit. And then they'll take it on in.
Boy, the ball is carrying. Hudson's ball almost flew out of here. Sneaking in behind Walker, but Glenn Hoffman and Doc Roberts getting back. Getting him back before the tag.
Not a bad idea with a pickoff move there with a fresh runner out there at second base.
One strike pitch, blown away. Francisco Liriano, the first no-hitter of this 2011 season. No hits the White Sox. He walked 6 men, struck out to 123 pitches for the no-hitter. They're jumping for joy in Minneapolis, St. Paul. We'll have highlights of that no-hitter in our postgame show tonight. Nub foul, breaking ball. 1-2 the count. Jorge Cantu to follow. Giants are at New York against the Mets tonight. They're going extra innings, tied at 6. Colorado has a 1-0 lead in the third at Arizona. Ball is hit well to left field. Howell. Paul giving ground to the warning path to make the catch. Tagging and headed for third is Patterson. And with 2 outs, he's 90 feet away from a Padre run. didn't quite get it on the sweet spot and still drove it all the way to the warning track.
You're absolutely right. It didn't have that clean, crisp sound as if it were to hit the sweet spot. Off the end of the bat just a little bit. And a smart play by Eric Patterson. He saw that Xavier Paul was going back. He's drifting, and he's got enough speed to go back and tag up and get to third base. Wild pitch, pass ball, get a run.
Cantu with the 2-run homer last night. He's hit safely in the last 5. 6 for 15 with a home run and 3 runs batted in. In the dirt. Chris Snyder there to block it. Changeup. 2-0 Pirates. If you're just joining us, McCutcheon a leadoff walk. Xavier Paul's bunt was ruled a hit, although dropped by Cantu at third, and then a 2-run double. Neil Walker outside with a slider. 2-0. Dodgers host the Cubs tonight in L.A. No score there early. There's a strike with a breaking ball, another slider. And it's part of the fun of the game, and you second guess, your first guess, and being the official score carries a certain weight as well. There's strike 2. The way I judge whether it's a hit or an error, should a major league player at that position be able to make that play consistently? And if they boot it, then that's an error.
Right.
But it's more difficult than even a good fielder can handle. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. A couple of strikeouts for Karsten and a man left at third. Too often a familiar refrain, and the Pirates lead it 2-0 after 1. Bottom third of the order, Alvarez, Cedeno, and Karstens to face Matt Latos. Alvarez average at 206, and Cedeno following 205. 24-year-old high schooler in New York City. Out in front of a changeup.
That's a great pitch. Matty had everything working on that pitch. The great mechanics, same arm swing as the fastball. That's when you make the hitter look silly.
Line drive, base hit. Solidly struck by Alvarez up the middle. Third Pirate hit.
Well, he's a good one. I mean, he elevated that pitch. He got the single, but Pedro Alvarez, watch the location of this pitch. That looked like another changeup out of the hand. This youngster, 16 home runs last season. That was a record for Pirates rookie third baseman. He's got some pop. You can see it out of the hand. That's a good looking swing.
And that high changeup doesn't do much at all.
That's right. The higher the pitch, the less it breaks.
Like a bad fastball.
Yep.
So a leadoff single for Alvarez. Here's Cedeno. Outside, ball one. Now we could see this coming when, even though the Padres swept the Pirates 3 here and 3 in Pittsburgh last year, you could see the young talent building. Change up in all their losing seasons. They've had a lot of good draft picks early in that first round. Now they're maturing into a solid team. Three and 0. The leadoff walk, part of the problems for Latos in the first inning.
Well, it seems like when Matt is missing with that fastball, it's off the plate by quite a bit. And when he's missing in the strike zone, the Pirate hitters are really taking advantage of it.
Already 27 pitches. Lays that fastball in there at 89, took a little off it. You know, Clint Hurdle, in talking with him, said, you know, when I had the chance to take the managerial job in Pittsburgh, and I looked at the young talent of last year, I said, this team is going to make me look pretty good. Fouled away.
You know, I think Clint Hurdle is the right guy for a job like this as well, because he's a motivator. He turned things around. He had some good years in Colorado, and then Jim Tracy took over, and then they had some great years there under Jim Tracy. But I think Clint Hurdle works well with young players.
3-2. Ground ball, could be 2. Patterson, Bartlett, double play. Four, 6, 3 in the book, and 2 quick outs then in the second inning to the pitcher Jeff Karstens.
Well, it's amazing after struggling a little bit trying to find the zone, throwing a lot of pitches, what one pitch can do for you. The old 18 hopper to Eric Patterson. Nice flip to JB over there. And gosh, you know what, Jason Bartlett, the more and more I see him, you know, he was in the American League all those years. We didn't get a chance to see him each and every day, but fortunate to have a guy like Bartlett at shortstop.
That underhand flip, he gets so much velocity on it, and he's so accurate, even from long range.
Yeah.
Pitcher Karstens takes a strike. It's 1-1. 0 for 8 this year. Struck out 4 times in the 8 at bats. On the outside corner, 1-2, a slider. Karstens is 5 for 69 in his big league career, yet to knock in a run. Two nothing, the visitors lead here in the top of the second. Base is empty, and 1-2 on the opposing pitcher Karstens, and he goes down swinging, a ball in the dirt. Tag made by Johnson. Second strikeout for Latos. And that's it for the Bucks in the second. No runs a hit, no one left. Home half of the second. Maben, Hopp, and Johnson coming up. Afternoon at 3:35, and then Arizona in Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday. And on Sunday, you youngsters 14 and younger in attendance, your first 8,000 of you, as the Padres take on the Diamondbacks, will receive the Padres foam finger presented by Bank of America. Go to Padres.com and get your tickets today. And of course, that's also Military Day, as always on Sundays at Petco Park.
Looks like Jane Mitchell was taking her boat out for a little spin there. And,
is that butted foul by Maben? Yeah, I think she was water skiing behind her boat tonight. She likes to right in the dust,
yeah,
she said. That's her favorite time. The waves, the water, even the ocean's like glass.
Right. I can just see her just gracefully water skiing behind that thing.
Well, the nice thing is when she invites company, there's lots of rooms.
She's never invited me.
Well,
has she ever invited you?
It only fits something like 2,000. And she's got 5,000 close friends. You know that.
Hey, not a bad idea by Cameron Maben, trying to lay one down there. Alvarez playing right now. He's about 3 or 4 steps behind third base.
He's going to try it again. Takes a strike. 0-2. Maben hitting .245, but leading the team in runs scored, hits, and triples.
Homemade signs, love them. A lot of hard work went into those signs. Love that. Nice work. Hey.
Rolled to third. Charged by Alvarez, and he gets Maben by a half stride. Let's check the defensive lineup for Pittsburgh. It's brought to you by North County GMC, a Southern California tradition for over 20 years. Alvarez, Cedeno, Walker, and Overbay around the horn. Paul in left, McCutcheon the center fielder, and Jones in right. Snyder behind the plate, and Karstens, the 28-year-old right-hander, on the mound. Clint Hurdle down in the dugout as Brad Hopp hits it long and foul down the left field line. Hopp with hits in his last 6 games, batting .333, 8 for 24 to raise his average up to 173. Another foul, same spot.
Okay, remember we had a discussion. We were talking to Buddy Black about it, talking to Randy Reddy about guys and the 150 at-bat mark to where you can really make an assessment. Brad Hopp going into this game, 75 at-bats.
Well, he's raised his average. Remember, it fell below 100.
Yes.
Now up to 173. Still seeking his first home run. 4 of the 8 regulars in the lineup tonight do not have a home run. Bartlett, Hudson, Hopp, and Venable. Or not Venable, Rob Johnson. Foul back.
Karstens
yes,
also.
Venable as well. So there's 5 of the 8 do not have a home run yet this year. Hard to believe we're at May 3rd. A long ball drought.
Yeah.
2-2. Day to day is the report down from the locker room on Orlando Hudson, a right hamstring pull.
They'd rather be day to day rather than stay out there and have it week to week or possibly a month.
Change up, and down goes Hopp. So 5 men faced, and Jeff Karstens has struck out 3. His career high in a game is 6. He's already halfway there.
And I think Jeff Karstens, if he threw that changeup to a hitter hitting .350, left-handed hitter would have gotten that strikeout as well. That was a nasty changeup. Great location, and that ball just fell right off the table, down and away from the left-handed hitting Hopp.
Rob Johnson, though he's had only 22 at-bats, has the Padres' best average, .318. Looking for his first RBI, first home run as a Padre. That nibbled the outside corner, a slider, 1-1. Try to go out there again. Roll off the plate.
Karstens will change the arm angle He will change speeds on his fastball. He'll throw the BP fastball. He'll hump it up about 92.
2-2.
Nice little two-seamer, low three-quarter arm angle. I like the way this kid flips it up there.
High school catcher. And then converted to a pitcher at Texas Tech. He played 1 year of collegiate ball there in Lubbock. Out of play. A year at Grossmont College for Ed Olson.
Eddie Olson, one of my faves. Love that man. Loyal to his players, and I'll tell you what, every guy that I've talked to that's played for Eddie Olson, he'll stick up for you. He's in your corner, and he will go to bat for you to go to a 4-year university if you start out at Grossmont. He's in your corner.
2-2 to Johnson. Just missed. Took a lot off that breaking ball. 71 miles an hour. Teased him with a big old slow curve.
So now, you know, if I were to counter with that pitch, a good hard two-seamer, middle in to Johnson.
And he missed outside, and a 2-out walk to Johnson. That's the first free pass from Karstens. Brings up Will Venable. Now, Will knows he's overdue to hit a long one. 30th game of the season. Still looking for that first home run. But as Clint Hurdle told his players, and what Tony Gwynn confirmed as our broadcast partner last night, look at all the grass. Find that grass with a ball. You don't have to find seats. Strike. Karstens came over to the Pirates in an excellent trade for Pittsburgh. Really a good trade with the New York Yankees. Fouled out of play. They gave up Xavier Nady and Damaso Marte. And listen to what they got. They got this guy, Karstens, Daniel McCutcheon on the roster, right-handed pitcher, Russ Ollendorf on the roster, but on the DL, and Jose Tabata, an outstanding outfielder. That's a winning trade for Pittsburgh.
Sure is.
0-2 to Venable. Fastball up to 93. Try to get Venable to go high and away.
I think that's what Karstens has topped out at, 93 on that fastball. But remember, the lower the fastball, maybe 88, 89, it has a tremendous movement to it. Two-seam movement. Good sinker.
Outside target. And too far outside on a changeup. 2-2. Throwing a lot of pitches. 41 already, and we're in the second inning. Johnson at first. 2 gone here in the bottom of the second. 2-0 Pittsburgh. And 2-2 the count on Will Venable. Ground ball. Loved by Overbay. And he makes the play. Interestingly, Overbay on that pitch left the bag, didn't hold on the runner, Johnson, and backed up and into the hole. Otherwise, that's a base hit to right field. Great timing. Overbay from the dugout moved, and there he is to close the hole. by Hughes Marino, because where you do business matters. With Mark Grant, Dick Enberg, welcome back to Petco Park. Top of the third, 2-0 Pittsburgh. Curveball misses to the leadoff man, Andrew McCutchen. He walked to start the game, moved to second on Xavier Paul's bunt that was ruled a hit, and both of them came home on Walker's long shot to center field over the head of Maben. As Walker, the leading RBI man in that Pittsburgh lineup, now has 16. Working on threes, McCutchen of late. Change up, 2-1. Pittsburgh, a 10-7 record on the road. Amazing. They went only 17-0 last year away from home.
Unbelievable.
In the dirt, 3-1. Well, he walked McCutchen, the leadoff man, and it cost him in the first inning. The Padres respect the power of this man. He's got 5 home runs. 92 down the middle.
Yeah, and McCutchen's one of those players. He's just going to get better and better with time. You know, the body's going to mature. The mind is going to mature as a big league player. Pretty good leadoff guy.
Ball 4, so he's walked him again.
And you know what else I look at is the way he looks at pitches. That sequence of pitches from Matt Latos, if he recognized it being out, he didn't even bite at it, like a changeup in the dirt. That high pitch there. There might be a lot of younger players who go after those pitches and swing at a bad pitch. He's pretty selective.
So the leadoff man has reached safely all 3 innings for Pittsburgh. The walk to McCutchen in the first and third, and a single by Alvarez in the second. Xavier Paul released by the Dodgers, and what a good grab for Pittsburgh. And he's in there because Jose Tapata is favoring an injury. Hamstring. Tapata with 9 stolen bases and 3 home runs this year. There's a strike. Up the middle, another base hit. McCutchen turns at second. Maben gets it in quickly. And it's first and second, no one out here in the third. I remember last year when Paul came up with the Dodgers, we said, that's a good looking young player. And that's a mark of how much outfield talent Los Angeles have. They didn't have any more options on him. They had to release him.
And he's going to get a tremendous opportunity playing in Pittsburgh. He's getting his chance, and he's doing some fine work this evening. Back-to-back hits and a carbon copy of the first inning. Walk, base hit. That's how this third inning has started, just like the first.
And now Latos has to face the muscle in the middle of this Pittsburgh lineup. Jones, Walker, and Overbay. Jones struck out the first time, but he hit a 2-run home run last night. Fouled at the plate.
I'll tell you one thing that went on the scouting report immediately was that home run that Garrett Jones hit last night. My goodness, that was right at the belt buckle, but he got his hands through quickly. Very impressed with the way he swung the bat on that pitch.
Yeah, Harang said I made a good pitch.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe he was able to yank that into the seats. He actually was jammed. His arms were jammed against his body and still had the power to knock it out. We'll show you that in a moment or two. Curveball, and boy, big jump off second by McCutchen. Here is that swing from last night that produced a 2-run homer. Cold Hard Blast presented by Coors, the world's most refreshing beer, Coors Light.
Fastball in. Garrett Jones gets the hands through. That was the old Claudel Washington follow through. Up high with the bat. Bat boy after hitting that home run.
340 feet. Ground ball to second. There's one. And they don't get the double play. Didn't quite turn it. The ball wasn't hit that hard. Jones, a big man, runs fairly well. Safe on a fielder's choice. McCutchen moves to third.
You know, for a big guy, Garrett Jones runs pretty well. He's not going to break any records by any means, but for a big man, he gets down pretty quickly. And how close is it? Yeah, he was safe.
So first and third with one out. Neil Walker clubbed a line drive over Maven's head against the center field fence for a 2-run double in the first inning, and here he has a chance to add to his RBI count. Infield plays back for 2. Is this a double play? 1, 2, and that bails Latos out of trouble in the third. The Pirate threat goes down on the second double play of the evening, turned by the San Diego infield. Patterson to Bartlett to Hop, and it remains 2-0 Bucks. Redesigned 2012 Civic, and check out the latest offers on the full lineup of Hondas. Last of the third, avoiding further damage. Latos helped by that double play to end the top half of the third. So Karstens goes to work, 2-0 in front. And the first pitch to Latos misses, ball 1. Don't forget, tomorrow day game, 3:35 start. Clayton Richard against Kevin Correa. No television. Follow the action on XX 1090 with our pals Leitner and Messer and Coleman. Macer and Coleman. There was an Andy Messer.
There, yeah, at Philadelphia, right?
I think also in Dallas.
Here's Andrew.
Mr. Chicago, he loves his Blackhawks. Huh?
Oh, yes, he does.
Long high drive by Latos to left field. This is going to go. Touch them all. Well, his teammates haven't given him a run his last 2 starts. He said, I'll do it myself. He makes the Grand Tour for the second time. He hit one last year. 2-1 the score. How do you do?
High fastball leaks, middle in and elevated, and Matt, he can put on a display during batting practice. He carries it on over into the ball game. Good for him, helping his own cause. Hey, upper tank, first row. We'll never hear the end of it.
No, you won't, but that's okay.
That's fine with me.
Well, that might bring some life to those bats. The kid goes deep. 2-1. Bartlett struck out his first time. There's the change. Way out in front. 2 strikes the count.
Well, he got all of that one, didn't he?
He sure did. He had the only Padre home run by a pitcher last year, fouled by Bartlett.
Look at the Midnight Cowboy swing that shillelagh.
They have to pinch hit him.
You know, no wind tonight. It's hot. It's dry. I mean, I'm not taking anything away from Matt Latos. I think that ball would have got out of here on any night.
Check swing. He didn't go. First base umpire Mike Winters.
Unlike last night, remember we had the wind blowing, right? Flags are blowing straight down right now as we speak. It is dry.
Ground ball pulled foul. In fact, the fireworks cloud out in left field, barely moving, just hanging around the scoreboard.
Looks like the fog coming in from San Francisco. I remember those nights at Old Candlestick Park.
Slightly drifting toward left, but not by much at all. Barely won't dissipate. He's just still hanging there. 2-2 to Bartlett. See if the Padres can build on the ignition by Lato's home run. 3-2.
I think Karstens may have gotten squeezed on that last pitch. It's a break for Jason Bartlett.
Last of the third, leadoff homer by Latos to make it 2-1 Pittsburgh. Out of play. Bartlett does a lot of that. If he's at the plate and you're here at Petco Park, fans, and down the right field line, get ready. You're going to get a souvenir.
Exactly.
He sprays it all over that right field side. Last night hit a couple of line drive outs to right and a line single to right. This one a broken bat, ground ball to short. Cedeno on the run. One away. Eric Patterson comes up. Replaced Orlando Hudson after Hudson doubled to right center field, just missed a home run, and then pulled up with a right hamstring pull at second base. And is now ruled day-to-day with that injury. Patterson 2 for 28 as a Padre. Takes a strike. Ryan Ludwig on deck. That ball hit pretty well to center field. McCutchen going back, up, and it's gone! Patterson, home run, touch 'em all. His first as a Padre. Well, as we said in the pregame show, maybe the home run derby will be on the San Diego side, and they get a couple from two unlikely sources in this second inning. Latos, the pitcher, and Patterson, who has only 2 hits and 28 at-bats, he goes deep, and it's tied at 2.
An 0-1 breaky ball. He stayed on it nicely. The ball is jumping tonight. He hit that ball well, though.
Ludwig didn't get all of it and still drove it to the warning track in left field his first time up. And here comes pitching coach for the Pittsburgh Pirates, Ray Searage.
Oh, missed with location. Karstens, the Latos home run, a 2-seamer up and in. A breaking ball, kind of a hanger, not really a hanger up around the belt buckle, but righty on lefty, even if it's knee high, it goes right into that wheelhouse of the left-hander. And Eric Patterson did a nice job of center, right up the center of the diamond for the home run. Hey, not bad for a guy who's replacing Orlando Hudson, pitch runner in that first inning. Coming up his second at-bat for a home run.
Surprising power. Not a very big guy, Patterson, and tagged that one 400 feet plus into over the center field barrier. There's the muscle men, Gehrig and Ruth, down in the Padre dugout. 1 out to Ludwig, and 1-0 the count. Next pitch will be the 60th of the game for Karstens. Ripped there by third. Into the corner it goes. Ludwig turns at first. Digging it out of the corner finally is Paul, and he gets it in. A stand-up double for Ryan Ludwig. Padres teeing off on Karstens in the third. Home run double.
A ball that leaks over the heart of the plate, and Karstens has been flipping up the breaking ball. He's been changing speeds on his fastball, and Ryan Ludwig is all over that pitch. keeping it fair down the third base line. It's nice to see the Padres, even including Matt Latos, getting some hits in bunches in this inning.
6th double for Ludwig on the year. And here's Cantu. He struck out the first time. Chance to give the Padres the lead here in the third. Strike with a 91-mile-an-hour fastball. Cameron Maben on deck. 1 out. 2 home runs and a double. 2 solos. And Ludwig's screamer down the line into the left field corner.
How about this? The Padres 4 hits tonight already, all extra bases.
Fly ball left center field shallow. McCutchen there for the second out. And Maben falls on his shoulders or his bat to try to pick up Ludwig with 2 outs and give San Diego its first lead. Ground ball by Alvarez. Here comes Ludwig around third. Here's the throw to the plate. Ludwig is in there, and the Padres have the lead 3-2. Maben delivers Ludwig from second and then takes second on the throw. 3-2 Padres.
And it looked like Jeff Karstens, that first pitch of the at-bat. Remember earlier I told you guys that he was changing speeds on his fastball, just getting number 1 over early. That's what that looked like there. He topped it just out of the reach of Alvarez. And with 2 outs, Glenn Hoffman is sending the runner Ludwig.
Well, that's a good throw by
yes.
Paul.
Yes, it was.
Remember, Ludwig with 2 outs is running all the way. Here's Hop. Can he add to the fun? Whoa, almost to the screen on a changeup. Hop struck out his first at bat. Everything but a double for the Padres in the inning. Single, double, and 2 home runs off Karstens.
Vote for your Padres.
Broken back roller up the middle. Easy chance for Walker. And the inning comes to an end. But Padres get 3 runs on 4 hits, leave 1. And after 3 innings of play, using the home run ball by Latos and Patterson. My, oh my. 3-2. San Diego. On a 3-2 lead, faces Overbay, Snyder, and Alvarez for Pittsburgh. Overbay crushed one his first time up to deep right center, and a staggering catch made on the warning path by Will Venable. A ball and a strike. Well, Latos has made Petco Park history. He is the first Padre pitcher to hit a home run here. Curveball low, 2-1. The last Padre pitcher to homer on his home grounds, Adam Eaton, 2003, 8 years ago at Qualcomm. Latos the first here. His other home run in Washington last year against Luis Atliano, July 8th.
Well, I knew Matt Latos was a pretty good 420 in the afternoon hitter, but he proved during game time that he can go deep, and that's a good sign.
Full count now on the leadoff man Overbay. Latos has allowed the leadoff man to reach safely all 3 innings of this game. Two walks and a single. That ball's hit well into the left field corner. Ludwig running out of room and makes the catch in foul territory. Well, the most famous home run in Pirates history, perhaps, 1960. Bill Mazeroski, walk-off home run. Pirates beat the Yankees at Forbes Field, and they are the World Series champions, and the Steel City went wacky. Mazeroski lucky to get home. Fans on the field trying to tackle him, his teammates.
Love seeing that old footage. And did you notice Yogi Berra was playing the outfield there?
Well, you've got our trivia question answer. That ball is hit well to left field, and Ludwig just has enough room as Snyder flirts with home runs in consecutive games. Well, we'll give it to you anyway. Now, just pretend you didn't hear the answer.
Well, nobody listens to me anyway, so it's all good.
Tonight's trivia question brought to you by AT&T Wireless. Who was playing left field for the Yankees when Mazeroski hit his World Series home run in 1960? And indeed, it was Yogi Berra, and that surprises a lot of people. They had Elston Howard and Yogi Berra, and Berra would play left field to get his left-handed bat in the lineup and allow Howard also to be in there. And Berra just kept floating back and back. It looked as if, he's going to make the catch. And there's the answer. Officially, now it's official, Yogi Berra played left field. He would have loved you. There's a little up and in, not that close to Alvarez. 2 outs here in the 4th inning. Well, the Yogi-isms, of course, have become nationally famous. I've witnessed a couple of myself firsthand. One of my favorites, his wife is Carmen. And of course, they grew up in St. Louis, and then when they signed a baseball contract with the Yankees, but in their later years, now they live in New Jersey. 2-1 to Alvarez. And Carmen, the wife, said, since we've lived in 3 different places, if you die, Yogi, before I do, where would you like me to have you buried? And Yogi answered, surprise me.
That's good. I like that.
in the dirt, 3-2. And of course, he played with Mickey Mantle, a great switch hitter. And Yogi said he hits from both sides of the plate. He's amphibious. I guess that meant he could hit well in the rain too. 3-2 is right down the middle, strike 3. Fastball. The 3rd strikeout for Latos gets Alvarez. 1-2-3 the story for Pittsburgh in the 4th inning. It's 3-2 Padres. Now $5 on Padres tickets, $13.50 or more when you buy your tickets online at Padres.com. First pitch swinging. Johnson to short and across for the out. Cedeno to Overbay. That's right, $13.50 or more. You get $5 off on those tickets. The offer won't be around forever, so don't wait. Get your tickets and save at Padres.com. One pitch, one out. Johnson has walked and grounded to short. That brings up Will Venable. A hard smash to first. And Overbay, who was holding on the runner the first 4 pitches of the at-bat, then was asked to play behind the runner. So he was off the line and was right there with the left-handed throw and the right-handed glove to take a hit away from Venable. That'll be out of play. We're talking about Yogi Berra. Just take a look. Here's a Hall of Famer. He had the most unusual body for an athlete, but he was a great athlete. He's short and squatty. There wasn't a strike zone. Had a good arm. He's in the Hall of Fame after 19 major league years. 3 times he was the most valuable player in the American League.
And Mr. Clutch at the plate.
We're talking about on a team with guys like Mantle and Maris and Skowron, and I mean, they had such a great team. But Yogi, yeah, as he said, look at that face. I really didn't say everything I said. He got credit for a lot of those one-liners that perhaps some good writer made up, but he contributed many of his own as Venable goes down swinging again. 4 strikeouts now for Karsten.
You know, one of my favorite stories, just being around Jerry Coleman, is we were in New York, I believe, on the road, and Jerry's on his cell phone. He's calling somebody, and he goes, "Hello, Lawrence." And he's talking to this gentleman, and he gets done. I said, "Jerry, you talking to a friend?" He goes, "Yeah, it was Yogi." And I finally realized that was his given name.
Yeah, Lawrence Sparrow.
Lawrence. But Jerry calling Yogi Lawrence. I thought
somehow that body doesn't look like Lawrence. You think of Sir Lawrence something, but not Sir Lawrence Barrett. Well, Lato's earning some breaking pitches after smacking that home run the last time up. And the count is 1-1. Now let's go back to July 8th at Washington last year. His first major league home run, Latos, much like the one tonight, and hammered it deep. That against Washington's Luis Etliano.
See, everybody was giving Matty the silent treatment in Washington after hitting the home run. Everybody just sitting on the bench, ignoring Matt Latos. He says, you guys take a hike. And then they finally show congratulations.
Yeah, then he wouldn't let him pat him on the back. He ran for cover. 2-2. Outside, full count to Latos. That takes Karsten's to 76 pitches. Line drive left center field, and that one is hit hard. Beat goes Paul and makes the catch. Xavier Paul had the speed to run down that line shot, headed for the gap. Oh, this could be an interesting night in many ways.
Mid-game recap brought to you by Murray Lamper Construction, room addition, second stories, and kitchen remodeling on time and on budget. The proof is in their references. Visit murraylampert.com. Mr. Enberg?
All right, Mark Grant. So the San Diego Padres, with only 15 home runs all season, get a couple from unexpected sources. Latos and Patterson tonight. And we go to the fifth inning, 3-2 San Diego. Cedeno, Karstens, and McCutchen to bat for Pittsburgh. Cedeno hit into a 4-6-3 double play first at bat. And Latos falls behind 2-0.
Oh, I was impressed with Matty after the Padres. Another homemade sign, which I like.
Fly ball on the infield. Coming into foul territory. Hop with a big glove. One away.
After that 3 spot in the third, Matt Latos went out in the fourth and shut the Buccos down 1-2-3. And that's a big out here in the fifth.
Karsten struck out swinging his first time. Fouled out of play. You know those games we used to play a crime scene and you get the clues to a crime, you got to guess what it is. Like remember one was you find a body and there's no weapon but there's a pool of water next to the victim. And what do you see? And inside 1-1 and stabbed by an icicle.
Right.
And so that's it. Well, Paulette, Kyron Bob's lovely wife.
Right.
She's got one for you. I want to see how you do
riddle.
this. Huh? Yeah, well, I guess it's a riddle. I'm going to give you the evidence. You got to tell me what happened.
Okay.
Count 2-1. And that folks at home can play along. Don't answer right away.
Okay.
You can kind of like you're the detective. You're the prime investigator. Foul back. You're on your way home.
Okay.
And you encounter a man wearing a mask. Where did you come from? Wow. 2-2 to Karsten. Bases empty, 1 out in the fifth inning. And Latos way out of the zone with a fastball, and Karstens has the count full. Leadoff man McCutchen waits next. 70th pitch from Latos. And there's a base hit to right center field for Karstens. So turnabout as Karstens, who hadn't delivered a hit all season, drops one into right field. The Pirates now have matched the hit total of the Padres with 5.
Jeff Karstens is pretty athletic. I mean, he can swing the bat extremely well. It's all in the swing. He looks like he knows what he's doing, and he makes contact off the end of the bat there and dumps it into shallow right field.
His 6th career base hit. In 79 at-bats. McCutchen walked and scored in the first, came around on the long double by Walker off the center field fence. And then he walked again in the third inning. Gives him 18 for the year, more than any Pirate. He's not walking the plank, he's walking over there 90 feet to first.
I like the analogy. That's nice. Arg. That was a good pitch. I think Matt got squeezed on that fastball.
2-0. McCutchen with a tight strike zone. 3-0. And Rob Johnson goes out to talk to Latos, tries to settle him down. He's got a lead, slender as it may be, 3-2. He's given up a hit to the pitcher, and now he's behind McCutchen. Not able to throw him many strikes tonight, McCutchen.
Yeah, regarding Matt Latos, I think one of the areas, and we've talked about this many times, Matt is going to have to mature as a pitcher, is if he gets squeezed on a pitch, let it go. You can't be concerned about that. It's going to affect the next pitch and pitches after that.
That's a strike, 92. Again, McCutchen For a leadoff man, excellent power, 5 home runs. High pop up, shallow and right. Venable calls off Patterson. So Latos digs out of a 3-0 jam, and on 3-1, McCutchen flies to right. 2 away, and Xavier Paul 2 for 2.
I think that should be the mindset for Matt Latos. Hey, if I get squeezed, everybody gets squeezed. I mean, come on, even the greatest ones, right? It takes one good pitch to get that guy out. He battled back. He threw a strike after that one that was called a ball, and then he got McCutchen to pop up a good pitch. He battled.
Paul bunted to third in the air, but Cantu could not catch it. It was ruled a bunt single, and he scored on the 2-run double by Walker in the first inning. And then he lined a single to center field his last time up. Strike at 92. And that had some movement.
Yes, it did. Matt throws the 2-seamer and the 4-seamer. The 2-seamer will have that run a little bit at 92, 93. And then when he really wants to hump it up, the 4-seamer, he can get up there about 96, 97.
Chop foul. Curveball. So he jumps in front of Xavier Paul. 2 strikes here with 2 outs, and the pitcher Karstens at first. Paul, while he was in the Dodger organization, was voted the best outfield arm in all of the Dodgers farm system. And we saw that on that play with 2 outs at the plate, how he got that one hopper in and at least challenged Ludwig, who scored the tie-breaking run on Maben's single. On the inside corner, he jumps out of the way, and that was close.
It was. That ball did not miss by much. Johnson's glove right over the inside corner and just off the plate a little bit. He's going to try to bring that back. He wants this one in the dirt.
And he gets the strikeout. The out will have to be recorded at first base. 2-3. Latos with 4 strikeouts out of the 5th inning. We're at the halfway mark at this one. Petco Park, San Diego, and the Padres lead the Pirates 3-2.
For home run inning presented by Harrah's Rincon Casino. If a home run is hit this inning, folks, text Homer, 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 to 269-411. Dick?
Text LATOS, huh?
Yeah.
Well, let's see what happens here in the 5th. Jason Bartlett is struck out and grounded to short. So Latos has beaten Bartlett, Hudson, Hopp, Venable, and Johnson to a first home run of the year. Bartlett takes a strike, 1-1. So I know you had your monocle out and your little bag of dust with the brush to see
fingerprints,
the crime scene.
Right.
1 and 2. So you're on your way home and encounter a man with a mask. Where did you come from? What's your answer?
Well, after a lot of research and digging around and asking some of my people some questions, I believe you're coming from third base and you're about to encounter the catcher.
Oh, very good. That's a good one, isn't it?
It is a good one.
So thanks to Bob.
Yeah, Chiron Dove.
And,
Bob Wuersdorfer's lovely bride.
Paulette. 1-2. Bartlett, the leadoff man tonight, with Eric Patterson on deck. Patterson, a home run his last trip. Low and away from Karstens, and he's now at 81 pitches. 28-year-old from San Diego. Misses again, 3-2.
Well, looking at the pitch count for Karstens over the course of this year, this is his 7th start. The most he's thrown was last start at 93.
Some movement down the right field corner bullpen for Pittsburgh. That one over the leaping try of Cedeno, and Bartlett has a base hit. It had a funny sound, but it looked sweet as it cleared the shortstop's leap.
Look, Karstens trying to keep the ball, the two-seamer, away from Bartlett. Remember his last time up, the 6-3 ground ball. It busted his bat. You can hear it all the way up here, but just out of the reach of Cedeno. He went down and got that pitch nicely. Not off the sweet spot, but it looks good in the box score.
Patterson replacing Orlando Hudson. Hudson doubled off the base of the center field fence his first at bat, but in trying to race possibly to third, he pulled a hamstring just before he hit second base and had to come out of the game. And the report down from the training room is it'll be a day-to-day injury, which could mean many days or perhaps just up through the weekend. And Patterson replaces him and hits a home run, his first extra base hit as a Padre, over the center field fence.
Wally Pipp. Wally Pipp.
Wally Pipp didn't feel well back in early 1920s. The guy named Gehrig replaced him. Wally never got another chance. 2,130 games later, Gehrig was still at first for the Yankees.
Of course, we're just kidding, O-Dog, if you're down there listening. We wish you well.
It's interesting, though, because of that event, Wally Pipp has a meaning in baseball.
Yeah. Hey, Skip, I got a headache today. I don't think I can answer the bell. Okay, Gehrig, grab a glove. You're in there.
Daniel McCutcheon, who came over from the Yankees with Jeff Karstens in that trade we talked about, getting ready. Patterson takes.
Little two-seam fastball.
2-0. Padres trying to stir up some home cooking. Yeah, they're 4-12 here at Petco. That can't be.
Yeah.
Big hole on the right side if Patterson can pull it. High, 3-0. Shortstop Cedeno in from his position, try to settle his pitcher.
Not much you can tell a pitcher at 3-0 because Carson's, he's not trying to go 3-0. Maybe a little bit of a breather here. Maybe we'll see a throw over to first base just to keep him honest over there.
Runner goes, ball 4, the first walk from Karstens. Interesting, a 3-0 pitch, and Bartlett was going to steal. Well, that takes us to our leaderboard, brought to you by Los Primos, home of the Monster Burrito. Get your $5 meal deal for a limited time only. Who's walked the most batters this year as a team? The Cubs, most generous, with the Mets and Pirates close behind, and the Reds at 100 mark. San Diego pitchers have walked 84, and you can add a couple more tonight from Latos. They're never good, those walks.
No.
It's just too high a percentage of them come around to score on you. And they move the lineup. Move it down, and eventually you get to those big guys in extra time.
Speaking of extra time, it looks like Snyder buying some time for Clint Hurdle as we saw Daniel McCutcheon heating up. Well, the old stall game, huh?
Well, plate umpire Guccione not trying to hurry him along at all. As you can see, walking back very slowly to the dugout, Snyder, and that gives Hurdle the time he needed. He got the signal from the bullpen that the right-hander McCutchen has loosened up, and he's ready to come in to replace Karstens, and that's the pitching move made by Hurdle. As we're in the 5th inning, no one out, runners at second and first for the Padres. San Diego leading 3-2 as Jeff Karstens exits. Age 6'2", 208 pounds, and his profile brought to you by Lolitas at the park, where you can enjoy quality fresh Mexican food and a wonderful evening. Happy hour 7 days a week. McCutchen spelling his last name the same as his center fielder, M-C-C-U-T-C-H-E-N. Look out on the board, you see San Francisco has beaten the Mets 7-6. Colorado and Arizona tied in the 6th inning at 3. Dodgers and Cubs scoreless in the 6th. Ludwig up, doubled into the left field corner and scored in the 3rd. That broke the 2-2 tie as Maben brought him home with a single. No one out. Runners at first and second. First pitch, a slider outside.
Well, now the Pirate lineup, McCutchen bookends. Andrew in the number 1 spot, Daniel in the number 9 spot. And the one in the number 9 spot throws a fastball, split, slider, and a curve.
High into right center field. Tagging is Bartlett. It's fairly shallow, and I don't think he is going to try to go. He's got a good arm. It's cut off, and they get the back runner as Patterson tries to sneak in behind the throw, but Cedeno cuts it off. And able to get a quick flip to the second baseman. Then Bud Black's not convinced at all that his runner was out. 9-6-4 on the putout.
You know, right out of the get-go, I'm going to question this call here.
Tagged him up on the elbow.
Yeah, and well, maybe we'll get a better look here, but a great job. If you look at the shortstop, Cedeno. I thought he maybe had his hand in there. Very, I don't know. Quick tag. Let's take a look here. Tough to call, huh?
So it becomes a double play for the Pirates. That's good relief pitching. McCutchen, he gives up a fly ball that becomes a double play. So Patterson now, or Bartlett's now at third base. Patterson erased at second. 2 out. Cantu takes a strike on the outside corner. Ethier got another infield hit last night to extend his streak, and he's got at least 1 base hit tonight. So Andre Ethier now 29 games in a row his hitting streak. Have that on our Saquon post-game show as well, along with Liriano's no-hitter. Stay tuned after our action here at Petco. 2-0 for Cantu, trying to bring home Bartlett from third, extend the Padre lead to 4-2. Low and away.
McCutcheon, the pitcher, throws that split finger fastball is his main off speed pitch. A lot of guys will go fastball, curveball, fastball, slider. He's fastball split.
Outside, ball 4, a 4-pitch walk. Cantu's on, so runners at the corners with 2 out, and Cam Maben comes up. That's a look of a manager saying, I didn't bring you in to throw 4 balls to a hitter.
Well, you know, he is staring down towards home plate, it looks like. And I saw that Chris Snyder took off his mask, and he was kind of talking to home plate umpire Chris Guccione regarding that last call. They did not get the call.
Looked as if it was outside. He tried to move it into the strike zone. So Cantu at first base. Bartlett, who led off the inning with a single at third. And Maben, who has an RBI single, ready to go. Ground ball sharply, but right at Cedeno. He gets the force, and the Padres unable to come up with something after getting the first 2 men on with no one out. Daniel McCutcheon, good job in relief. By California Coast Credit Union. Call 877-496-1600 for auto loans with rates starting at 2.98%. Fans enjoying the action from the Western Metal Supply Company as Latos goes to work here in the 6th, and a swing and a miss by Garrett Jones, who has struck out and grounded out. Jones, Walker, and Overbay, heavy hitters, come up here in the 6th for Pittsburgh. Latos has allowed 5 hits tonight. Foul tip into the glove of Johnson. In case you're joining us, McCutcheon led off the game with a walk. Xavier Paul followed and credited with a bunt single. And Neil Walker clubbed a double over the head of Maben in center field for the 2 runs. That ball hit high in the air to center field. He just missed that one. Maben waits for it to come down. The Padres countered in the 3rd, a leadoff home run by the pitcher Latos, his first of the year and second as a Padre. And with 1 out, Eric Patterson, who replaced Orlando Hudson, who pulled a hamstring running out a double in the 1st inning, homered a solo over the center field fence. A double followed by Ludwig, and Maben a 2-out single to left gave the Padres the lead they now enjoy 3-2. Strike to Walker. Swing and a miss. Karsten's line then, 4+ innings, 3 runs all earned, 6 hits, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts. 2 strikes the count. Went after a bad ball, then Johnson drops the ball and Walker is safe. Oh my. So an error, Rob Johnson unable to pick the ball up off the dirt around home plate and make a throw to first base, and Walker gets a terrible pitch that he goes after, and
he kicked it. Initially he went after that ball and kind of kicked it a little bit. Strikeout, slider in the dirt, a nice pitch by Matt Latos. Now let's see how Matty reacts with 1 out here, and they run around first.
Outside to Lyle Overbay, a changeup. Luke Gregerson getting ready for the Padres. So it has to be in the back of the mind of Latos here. I make a pitch, I get him to chase a terrible pitch and strike out, and we can't record our second out. He's over there at first representing the tying run. Way out of the strike zone for those 2 deliveries.
Yep, and as I mentioned before, that is something that Matt's just going to have to erase from the hard drive and go after this guy. Hey, it happened before. He threw a good pitch. He got a double play the end of the inning in the 3rd. It could have been much worse. No runs came across for the Pirates in that 3rd inning.
Overbay swings and misses. He just missed a home run his first time up. Remember, he hit that shot deep right center field, 395 feet, that Venable made a staggering catch on the warning pad. 1 out. Padres by a run, 3-2. Ground ball to first. There's 1 out. Now the tag play. They've got him in a rundown. Walker. Not well executed, and finally the tag made by Bartlett. And the inning is over. Double play, the 3rd of the night, turned by the Padres. And we go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Latos and San Diego with a 3-2 lead. The middle game Saturday, May 7th. It'll be Bud Black Bobblehead Night presented by Bank of America. 25,000 of you fans in attendance will receive a Bud Black Bobblehead presented by Bank of America. Go to Padres.com There he is in the dugout, and we've got one of those right here in our booth. He's there up on the dugout steps. Yeah, manager of the year, 2010.
Oh yeah,
I want one of
this background right here.
Don't tell Barbara. Don't tell Barbara.
No, that's her gift. It's got a little information about Bud Black, the 2010 manager of the year. A nice item.
Great anniversary gift. So those of you celebrating May 7th is your anniversary. Can't beat that. Boy, that's a unique gift for your lady fair. Get your tickets, folks. Saturday night, 5:35 game. Brandon Wood takes over third base for Pedro Alvarez. I don't know if Alvarez came up with an injury, but kind of unusual substitution. Brad Hopp struck out, grounded out. Lays off the fastball 1-2 as McCutchen into his second inning. Came in with first and second, no one out. Got the fly ball double play, then walked a man, Cantu, and Maben grounded out to end the inning. No damage done. Foul back. Fans on this Tuesday night taking advantage of the 2-for-1 upper deck right field. A lot of fans out there enjoying the action. One of the many bargains offered by the Padres. 2-2, a changeup. Two-for-1 Tuesdays here at Petco.
Great deal.
Line drive caught by Walker. Well, Hop can't buy a hit. Most of this season he rifled that one, but made great contact. You have to be satisfied that without a hit, if you swing like that, things are going to be okay.
Absolutely. It's a good looking swing, and I'll bet you Randy Reddy's the first guy to be in that dugout when Brad Hopp comes back and puts his helmet back there. Hey, keep swinging, Brad. Nothing you can do there. Put a good swing on it.
Rob Johnson has walked and grounded to short.
It'll be that time when he gets jammed with a fastball and it's a little number over the third baseman's head. They all even out, don't they? Seems like they do.
Yeah, you can't convince hitters they do. They forget the numbers and the Texas leaguers and the bloops swinging bunts. They remember all those line drives caught. In for a strike. Slider. Well, McCutchen's done some good pitching up the pen. This is his 8th game. He's gone now 10 innings plus, allowed only 6 hits. No runs. Just 2 walks, including the one tonight. And down goes Rob Johnson. He has his first strikeout, does McCutchen. Will Venable. Hard ground ball out to the first baseman, and he struck out the last time. Another 1-run game. Padres have played 8 of them already this year. They're 2-6. Line drive slicing into the left field corner. Paul is there to make the catch. Oh my, a couple of stabs by the defense of Pittsburgh to deny hits. Brad Hopp and Will Venable scorching line drives that go for outs in a 1-2-3 inning. and by the Cox Bundle TV, Internet, and home phone service all together with the Cox Bundle. With our producer Ed Barnes and Tom Satursky, our director, Mark Grant, Dick Enberg, pleased you're with us on this beautiful Tuesday night. Warm and comfortable, and Luke Gregerson comes in. Matt Latos 6 innings, as the Pirates have scored all the runs in the series in the first inning. Got 4 last night, good enough for a 4-3 win, and 2 tonight. And then Latos shut the door and ignited the offense with his solo home run. So Gregerson in the 7th will face Snyder, Brandon Wood, and Ronnie Cedeno. Gregerson 1-1 with a 1.35 ERA. This is his 16th appearance, 13 plus innings, 12 hits, 2 runs. Snyder hits a soft fly in foul territory. Hop can't get there, just into the camera well.
Hey, you know what? Matt Latos bounced back quite nicely. You know, the 2 runs in the first inning. Could have been a little trouble. He rolled that double play in the second and the third, and after that, he pitched extremely well.
Snyder homered last night and just missed one tonight in the 4th inning. Sent Ludwig almost to the wall in straightaway left field. Two and one. Three and one. Now the Padres supporting Matt Latos with 3 double plays. Gives them 30 for the year. They're only 1 behind the National League leaders, Atlanta, 31. He walks the leadoff man. So Snyder with a free ticket. Brandon Wood, the hitter. Alvarez, hitting only .206, did have a single, first time up and struck out. Don't know if he was ill or mild injury, but replaced in the middle of the game by Wood. You see his brief appearances, only 3 for 13. Bunts back to the mound. Gregerson will get the out at first base with Patterson covering. So manager Hurdle playing to tie here, sacrifices Snyder to second to give Cedeno and the pinch hitter a chance to tie it up. So walk and a sacrifice, and that's what happens when you lose that leadoff man. Cedeno grounded into one of those 3 double plays, and he's fouled to first base.
Yeah, speaking of the walk, remember last night, very uncharacteristic of Ernesto Frieri. He walked 3, and Luke walked 1 in the 9th. And then he walks the leadoff hitter here.
Matt Diaz is on deck. Slider starts Cedeno with a strike. They play Cedeno to hit to right center. There's a base hit to right field. The runner had to check at second, so only can advance to third. Snyder didn't know if Hop could catch it. So Cedeno, first and third on his first hit of the night. And that brings up the pinch hitter, Matt Diaz.
He went with his money pitch. It was a slider off the end of the bat and just out of the reach of Brad Hop at first base.
Snyder couldn't gamble on running because it looked as if Hop might catch it, so he moves to third. The tying run 90 feet away for the Pirates, and only one out, and the pinch hitter Diaz steps in, hitting an even 200 on the year, 10 for 50 as a pinch hitter, 1 for 10 and 1 RBI. The infield back up the middle will trade a double play chance for the tying run. Inside. Fastball drives Diaz off the plate.
You know, looking back to that last base hit off Ronnie Cedeno's bat, it almost looked like Cedeno went down and got that slider knowing that Gregerson was going to throw it. Now remember, Gregerson threw a lot of sliders in the past. He's been throwing more fastballs lately. There's a slider there that works underneath and up in the zone. Very, very flat slider from Luke.
Falls behind Diaz, 2-0. Darren Balsley, he sees something he doesn't like.
Here's that last pitch. Look at that ball. It just kind of rolls up there. It doesn't really break. You can see him work around that ball. The slider grip and slider release. You know, scouting reports get around the league like hitters just as quickly as they do about pitchers. You know, I mean, hitters know about pitchers. And it looks like Luke's maybe throwing more fastballs because he may think that hitters are sitting on that slider and they'll go down and get it.
Scramble out in the bullpen, and Chad Qualls is the first to get up. And Hurdley will get himself ready as Gregerson has worked himself into a jam with the leadoff walk and the single to Cedeno, and now down on the count to Diaz, 2-0. Ground ball to third, foul, just foul past Cantu. So 2 balls and a strike to the pinch hitter Diaz. And Andrew McCutchen, leadoff man on deck. Action pitch, 2-1.
Well, if you're looking for the double play, Diaz has grounded into 4 twin killings this year. Alvarez leads in that category with 5 for the Pirates.
That ball is hammered to right center field, up the alley. Maben can't get there. It's against the wall on one hop. In comes Cedeno, and Cedeno to third on a double. It's tied at 3 as Snyder scores easily from third base on a pinch double to deep right center. Pirates have tied it at 3. Cedeno moving to third. Still only 1 out.
Hey, we get spoiled from what we've seen from Luke Gregerson in the last couple years here as a Padre. That slider didn't break, and it was flat, and it was elevated. Diaz has got some pop in that bat. He drove that ball out to Cox Alley.
And now you've got Andrew McCutchen up there, a dangerous hitter. Infield has to come in. Runners at second and third. McCutchen walked twice, takes a strike. Fastball.
Good two-seamer working down.
That's that loud sound of that double off the bat of Diaz. And that echoed down in the dugout where Latos cannot win now. And so his 9-game losing streak continues. Line drive up the middle base hit. Cedeno scores. Diaz scores. 5-3 Pittsburgh. Well, as you've said, we haven't seen many bad outings by that Padre bullpen, but Gregerson has given up 3 runs here, and it all starts with a lead-off walk.
Boy, he put a good swing at it, too. Luke trying to locate the fastball. It leaks over the heart of the plate. I tell you, these buccos like to swing the bat.
A walk, sacrifice, single by Cedeno, 2-run double by Diaz, and now Rather, one run came in on Diaz's double, and now a 2-run single by McCutchen. And we're going to have a double switch here as Gregerson, roughed up here in the 7th inning, has given up the lead, and now Pittsburgh enjoys a 2-run edge. Chris Denorfia is going to go into right field as the pitching change. Chad Qualls jogs in from the bullpen. Here in the 7th, the Bucks have taken the lead 5-3. By Lolitas at the park. You know, you can enjoy quality fresh Mexican food there, and wonderful evening happy hour 7 days a week. Qualls' numbers, a couple of losses on his card, a 3.14 ERA. But back to Gregerson. 15 outings this year, 13 plus innings. He had allowed only 2 runs. And he's given up 3 in a third of an inning tonight.
And every reliever is going to have that outing. And, you know, quite frankly, if it's 1 out of 15 or 1 out of 10, you know, I'll take my chances with a guy like that. Just a little flat tonight from Luke on a couple of sliders, and they capitalized on some fastballs that caught the heart of the plate. Now Chad Qualls comes into the story here, tries to stop the bleeding with 1 out, get a grounder with that power sinker of his.
McCutchen at first base with 1 away. A good base stealer. He has 5. Xavier Paul 2 for 3 tonight. Struck out his last time against Latos. That was at the end of the 5th inning. Runner goes. Pitch out. Johnson. And they get him. McCutchen not convinced. Well, there's a good call. The pitch out on the first delivery from Qualls. So somebody down the dugout had a hint.
And a nice job by Chad Qualls firing that ball right into the chest. Bartlett does a fine job of trying to block second base. Look at that. Shoulder high, come out throwing. Bartlett kind of blocks he got the foot past the block though, but nicely done.
Ground ball now to short, and the inning comes to an end as Paul out 6-3. But the damage done. 3 runs for the Bucks on 3 hits. No one left. Stretch half of the 7th. Padres trail by 2. outfielder for the Rockies in a early season slump, but he broke out tonight with a single and a home run. And Colorado tied with the Diamondbacks in Arizona 3-3. Henry Blanco with a double and a home run for the home team. They'll be coming in here Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And the Dodgers and Cubs are tied at 1 in the 7th inning in LA. This is Mike Crotta. Inherits the game in the 7th inning. Daniel McCutchen 2 hitless innings in relief, and he stands to get the win tonight. Crotta 4.50 ERA in his 12 appearances. 10 innings. He's given up 13 hits, a .310 batting average against, and a couple of home runs.
And Crotta is a 3-pitch pitcher, fastball, slider, and a change. They've got some good arms in this Pirate bullpen. Guys that throw in the mid-90s. Basically just a fastball, slider pitcher, Michael Crotta.
First man he faces will be Chris Denorfia in the double switch when Qualls came in. Denorfia placed in the 9 hole, and then it'll be Bartlett at the top of the order and Patterson. He comes in with a 94-mile-an-hour awakener. Denorfia hitting .282, a couple of home runs and 3 runs batted in. Trying to get something started. Padres now have to rally. Chopped by the mound. It's going to be a tough play for the shortstop. Cedeno can't make it.
It's the second time this series he's done that.
Yeah, the do or die. He went with a bare hand all the way.
You know, I think if he gloves that, he's got a chance to get Denorfia at first base. As soon as that ball was touched by Cedeno, right there, I looked up and saw where Denorfia was. He still had he wasn't right on top of the bag. Sure, it would have been close.
Well, that brings a tying run to the plate for the Padres in the 7th. The infield scratch hit for Denorfia. Bartlett, a single and 3 at bats tonight. He's also struck out and grounded to short. Infield looking for the sacrifice. This isn't a sacrifice situation. They're down by 2 runs. Third baseman Brandon Wood is in on the grass.
Yep. Well, it's an advantage for Jason Bartlett if he can spin on something, cutting down the range at third base, possibly shoot it down that left field line for a double.
Now Wood backs off, but he's still bag high at third. Denorfia's infield hit, the 7th base hit tonight for San Diego. A couple of solo homers by pitcher Matt Latos and the man on deck, Eric Patterson. Inside with a fastball. So we've got to educate the Padre fans. When we were in Los Angeles, when the wave erupted, it was always when the Padres were at bat, where you give the hitters something to see.
Right.
At home, you don't do it to your own team. You wait for the visitors to come up. If you want to wave, then you create the ruckus. Inside again.
Maybe it's disturbing Crotta out there on the mound. He can't find the plate. The psychological advantage of the wave. Who does this affect most?
Me.
Good answer, Professor.
2-1 with Denorfia at first base, no one out. 3-1. Yeah, he's got plenty of firepower, Crotta, but he's all over the place with fastballs. And catcher Snyder out to try to settle him down. Well, let's look at our Skycam shot, brought to you by Mossy Ford and Mossy Toyota. You can visit us in Pacific Beach or online at mossy.com. Now that's a little better, the old-fashioned rhythmic clap and applause to stir a rally. That's baseball. Big pitch right here, 3-1. Bartlett waits. Denorfia leads. Right back through the middle. Can he get through? It squeaks under the glove of Cedeno for another hit. So back-to-back infield hits over the pitcher's mound. Boy, that's pitching and tough luck for Crotto. Padres will take it. 2 on, no one out here in the home half of the 7th.
Oh, 3-1 pitch. It's a sinker down and in. That's a pretty good pitch. Crotto gets his grounder. And you know what? You cannot anticipate if Cedeno would have caught that cleanly, the flip throw at second base. Who knows what would have happened, but he would have had a pretty good darn chance of flipping that ball back to second base for the force.
Joe Beimel, a left-hander, is going to be called in from the bullpen. So tough luck pitching for Crotto. He gets Denorfia to hit a high chopper over the mound, and Bartlett with a seeing eye ground ball up the middle for a couple of infield hits, and the Padres threaten to come back in the 7th. No out here in the last of the 7th inning. Padres need 2 to tie, so carrying that tying run at first base, Bartlett, with Denorfia scratch hit at second base. There's Beimel's numbers as he appears in his 8th game. Veteran left-hander, allowing only a 136 batting average against. Eric Patterson replaced Hudson after Hudson doubled and pulled up at second with a hamstring pull in the 1st inning. Homered over the center field fence. The bunt is in order here, and he squares. Bunts it in the air. It'll get away from the catcher, Snyder. But Black electing to throw out the sacrifice sign and try to move the tying run into scoring position. Give Ludwig and Cantu a chance against a left-hander. Beautiful bunt. That could go for a base hit. It will be a hit. Perfectly placed. 3 infield singles for the Padres. And that's what I call a Padre rally. Get him on there. Scratch hit. Scratch hit. Perfect bunt.
And now what the Padres need is an extra base hit. But as you mentioned, Dick, perfectly executed after the pop-up. He gets a second chance. The third baseman, Brandon Wood, he went back to third base. Nobody's getting that baseball, and there's a Padre at every pillow.
Once Beimel couldn't get to the ball, then that was a hit all the way. First baseman Overbay was only about 25 feet from home plate, and Patterson bunted it exactly. You couldn't textbook a bunt better than that. Run out and just place it on the grass. Bases loaded without the ball leaving the infield. No one out, and Ludwig the batter. A double in 3 trips, a fly ball double play the last time. Takes it outside, ball 1. Now the pressure on Beimel.
We've talked about this many times. Bases loaded, nobody out. There's where the pressure is on Joe Beimel. Brian Ludwig, with each pitch being a ball, that strike zone can kind of shrink a little bit, and he can look for a pitch to really tee off on.
2-0. Good patience. Changeup. 18,636 at Petco tonight. Trying to cheer a comeback after the Padres sacrificed the 3-2 lead. Pittsburgh getting a 3 spot in the top half of this inning and lead at 5-3. Tying run at second. Go ahead run at first. Bases full. 2-0 to Ludwig. Ball 3. Four-year-old Beimel. Been around. Started with Pittsburgh, Minnesota, Tampa Bay, Dodgers, Washington. 3-0 now to Ludwig. In there. 3-1. Taking all the way. Change up on 3-0 from Beimel.
84 miles an hour. That was either a BP fastball or changeup. I think it was a changeup.
Runners lead away. Bases full for Ludwig. 3-1. Ball 4. 3 infield hits and a walk. Padres make it 5-4. Still no one out. Bases full. Ludwig with his 14th run batted in.
Hey, many times a hitter will go to the plate. Nobody out. They want to be the hero. They want to put one out of the ballpark. Sure, everybody loves the grand slam. But Ryan Ludwig does a fine job of being patient, and he will gladly pass the baton to Jorge Cantu.
DeNorthia scores. Bartlett at third. Patterson at second. Ludwig at first. And Cantu has struck out, flied out, and walked. Infield back, looking for a double play. Ground ball, could be a triple play, but he doesn't go to third. There's 1, there's 2, and the game is tied at 5. There was a chance for Wood. He was only a couple steps off the bag to try to go around the horn for a triple play against Cantu. Not a fast runner.
Breaking ball down and in at the high hopper, and maybe a little bit too far away from third base, so he elects to go for 2. In the 7th inning, still a lot of ball to play, and Brandon Wood's thinking, you know what, I'll give the Padres a run, and I'll take 2 outs for my pitcher Joe Beimel.
Moving to third is Patterson. The tie-breaking run is after walking Ludwig with the bases loaded. Cantu, first ball swinging, hits into a double play. Maben has an RBI single and a couple of groundouts tonight. Chance to plate Patterson and regain the lead. 2 gone in the bottom of the 7th. A wacky inning. 3 infield hits and a bases loaded walk. Breaking ball for a strike. The 2 runs charged to Crota. One and one. Infield hit for the pinch hitter DeNorthia. Started it on a high hopper over the mound. Another infield hit up the middle. Bartlett. Cedeno smothered it, but went out into center field. The bunt single by Patterson. Then the bases loaded walk for Ludwig. Made it 5-4. The double play ball scored the 5th run. That ball getting away. Foul ball. Foul ball. That had a funny sound.
Off a home plate. Hit that big old piece of rubber right there.
With Maben's speed, you get that one kangarooing, and he might beat it before it comes down. 1-2 now on Maben.
See if the, right off a home plate. You can see a little dust kick up there.
So Beimel ahead on the count now. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Five in the bottom of the 7th. 3 runs for the Pirates in the top half of the inning, and San Diego counters with 2 and a chance for another. In the dirt. Ooh, blocked by Snyder. A slider in the dirt. Patterson, excellent speed at third, with his weight leaning forward, coming down the line, ready to scamper should one get away from Snyder. 2-2. Maben with his 8th RBI of the year earlier in the game. They play him straight away at infield and outfield. Struck him out. Changeup gets Maben, and what was promising as a big inning, the Padres settled for 2 on 3 hits and a bases loaded walk and leave a man at third. It's tied at 5.
Diamondbacks Friday, May 6th. Head to the Park at the Park for Beer Fest. Enjoy some suds and some great brew. Come out and enjoy those beers from 25 breweries, including some of San Diego's best breweries. First pours at 4:30. First pitch 7:05. Visit Padres.com/beerfest for tickets and all the details. Dick?
Little taste test on Friday night.
Absolutely.
And it's usually it's 5 o'clock. We're going to give the guys and gals a little early start. 4:30. 4:30.
Yeah. Little primer before the game. A little pre-party.
And you know, along with the fun of a beer fest, you meet a lot of nice folks. They're all baseball fans.
Yeah.
Talk a little baseball.
And they get better looking as the night goes on.
Truism. Never worked for me, though. I don't understand that. Brad Hopp will lead off the bottom of the 8th inning. But Mike Adams comes to work here in the top half of the 8th. It'll be Hopp, Johnson, and Chase Headley enters the game at third. He'll bat third in the bottom half of the inning. As a double switch again by manager Black. Garrett Jones 0 for 3. It's Adams' game now. And he sends in strike 2.
Pounding the strike zone with that fastball and slider. Occasional changeup from Mike.
15 games now, 14 innings. He's allowed only 3 hits and hasn't walked a man. Got him. Breaking ball in the dirt. Johnson will record the out at first.
Tight slider, great location. Down and in. Actually, that ball splits the heart of the plate, and Rob Johnson does a fine job of smothering it, creating a throwing lane, going into fair territory to complete the put out down to first base.
Well, he's had some practice, hasn't he, on that play? And Pirates hefty swingers and going after balls in the dirt. Neil Walker, 2-run double way back in the first inning to give the Pirates a 2-0 early lead. Grounded into a double play and struck out, and was safe at first when on a one-hopper that he swung and missed. Johnson couldn't pick up the ball, and he was safe at first on the error by the Padre catcher. In there. 5 pitches, 5 strikes.
Was it Roy Halladay the other day started the game 19 straight strikes? Unbelievable.
Yeah, he's deserving of that description. Unbelievable pitcher. 0-2. Just does spoil that one. Slider down and in.
You don't think there are scouts sitting in the stands just salivating over what Mike Adams has done on the mound, not only last year but early this year, saying, hey, our club can use a guy like that in the closer's role.
Yeah, he could fill that, couldn't he? Allowing a batting average of .067. There's a one-hopper to short. Bartlett, long throw, gets him. What a play.
He's awesome. The Jason Bartlett shortstop show. This ball off the bat's going to hook a little bit. One hopper. Watch him plant the back foot, and you know he's known for that flip throw, but he gets up on top. He needs a little extra now.
Transition quick, and it's out of the glove and into his hand to make that play.
Got him by a quarter step.
That's a great looking shortstop play. Routine, says Jason. 2 outs in the 8th. Overbay has sent a long out, 395 feet to right center, fouled to left field, and hit into a 3-6 double play. Grounded the ball to first, and they had Walker hung up between first and second, a rundown, and finally the double play completed. 3-6. One of 3 turned by the San Diego infield tonight. That one tails outside, 1-1. Two outs, bases empty here. Pittsburgh 8th inning. 5-5 tie. They're tied in Los Angeles. The Cubs and Dodgers late in that game. 1-1. Ground ball up the middle, and that one Bartlett can't get. Overbay with a 2-out single. A rare base hit off the offerings of Mike Adams.
Looked like a backdoor slider. Had that slider type rotation on it. Good effort by Jason Bartlett.
Only the 4th hit all season off Mike Adams, and that brings up Chris Snyder, the catcher. He's flying to right, long out to left, walked and scored. His walk started the 7th inning 3-run come from behind rally for Pittsburgh as they were down 3-2, and after the 7th led 5-3. Padres tied at bottom of the 7th. Pours in a slider at 87. Boy, he must be really tough to read, Adams. Out of his hand, his delivery, that's an 87-mile-an-hour slider, so it's only about a 6-mile-an-hour difference, fastball and slider. Fastball just inside.
Rob Johnson did everything he could to try to frame it. I thought it was actually a good pitch, a fastball. He was set up outside. He's discussing it with Chris Guccione, kind of shaking his head. I don't know about that one, big boy. I thought it was a strike.
Same spot, 2-1. There goes Overbay. Inside, Johnson's throw, not even close. Overbay taking liberties on Mike Adams. Took off, and Adams not paying close attention. He stole that one on the pitcher. His first of the season.
Mike uses the regular leg kick there. It's a slider, and Rob Johnson trying to do his best Benito Santiago imitation there, throwing from his knees. 2 outs here. Mike Adams has to worry about the hitter here.
And the count has gone 3-1 on Snyder. Tiebreaker at second, 2 outs on a single and a steal, his first of the entire season. Overbay. That's on the inside corner. 89 slider.
Yep.
Full count on the catcher, Chris Snyder.
Might see a slider here. Seems like Mike Adams has a good feel for that. He's making good pitches down in the zone.
Chop toward third, foul. Another slider. Johnson out to make sure he and Adams are on the same page. A brief encounter, and back he comes to home plate.
Good point, Dick, and I want to mention that I'm wondering if Rob Johnson now will give a sign, since he went out and talked to Mike Adams. Hey, let's eliminate the signs. I'm just going to go down there, give you a target. I want you to throw this pitch. We're going to peek into Rob, see if he gives some signs.
Overbay peeking in over the shoulder of Adams, can see the signs.
See, he didn't even give a sign. He just gave the fist down there.
Ground ball to third. Headley just into the game, gets a chance and throws him out. Adams does his job, does give up a hit, leaves a man at second. Coming up, Hop, Johnson, and Headley for the Padres. Wherever you go this season, subscribe to MLB.tv. See every Padres game live or on demand on your computer or your favorite devices. Visit Padres.com to order. Get more details. MLB.tv. Baseball everywhere. Joe Beimel stays in to work a second inning and will face Brad Hop. Perhaps the only man he will face. Jose Veras, our right-hander, has been keeping loose down in the bullpen. Rob Johnson and then the switch hitter Headley to follow. Hop fouls it away. Brad is struck out, grounded out, and lined to second base. 5 runs, 9 hits, an error for San Diego. 5 runs, 9 hits, no errors for Pittsburgh. Another foul. Threw him a slow breaking ball. Did he go? Yes, he did. Hop strikes out for the second time tonight. 7th Padre to go down, and Rob Johnson the batter. Johnson has struck out, grounded out, and walked.
You know, Joe Beimel can be pretty effective against righties and lefties alike. You saw that slurve to Brad Hobb to get him down and away. Well, he's got that changeup as well, down and away to righties, which is an effective pitch, along with that breaking ball down and into the right-handed hitters.
And Johnson with a third baseman, Wood, playing very deep. Thoughts about trying to bunt his way on, missed. Beimel continues to hang around the big leagues. He came to the Pittsburgh camp this spring as a minor league free agent. Worked his way onto the big club. Pitched at Colorado last year. 71 games, was 1-2. Chop over the catcher's head, and Johnson down on the count, 1-2. Came up to the big leagues 10 years ago with Pittsburgh. He was selected by Pittsburgh in 1998 in the 18th round. 3 years with the Bucks, then went to Minnesota. The next year to Tampa Bay. 3 years with the Dodgers. 2009 with the Nationals and Colorado, and all last year with the Rockies. Been in a lot of games, 530 plus.
He's put together a nice little career into his 9th year in the big leagues. You know the old adage, if you're left-handed, you've got a pulse. And you can throw strikes. Hey, nothing against Joe Beimel. He's got some nasty stuff. He could probably pitch another 8 years.
Another lefty, Joe Thatcher, has a strong pulse. Was in the clubhouse tonight. Good to see him after his shoulder surgery.
You know, Beimel, what I like about Joe Beimel is his deception. He throws across his body. He kind of short arms it a little bit. So he kind of hides the ball well.
You got to pick it out of that tattoo on the right arm.
Yeah. Going into this ball game, opponent's only hitting 136 off the veteran lefty. He's got the Kenny Loggins beard working too.
Outside, 2-2 to Rob Johnson, a changeup. Beimel, a native of the Pittsburgh area, went to Duquesne University. And the count goes full. High school wrestler. You don't see that in many bios, do you? Baseball players that wrestled in high school.
That's a big old boy on the mat right there, wearing the singlet.
Any Donniebrooks, you want Beimel to get out of that bullpen in a hurry. 23 pitches now for the veteran lefty. Working carefully to Rob Johnson. 3-2. Bit well to left field. Back, and Johnson will touch them all. How about that? 3 unlikely Padres go the distance, and it's 6-5. Welcome to the Home Run Club. How about that tonight? Matt Latos homers. Eric Patterson homers, his first as a Padre. Rob Johnson, his first in a San Diego uniform to give the Padres a lead. That came close to going in the Frazee paint can. That could have been a $500,000 swing.
Well, let's take a look how close it was.
Whoa, very close. A little over the top.
Yeah, hit the Frazee paint sign below it there.
That would have been $500,000 to his favorite charity. Chase Headley bats for the first time.
Well, what a great job by Rob Johnson, all over that hanging breaking ball from the lefty, coming down and into him. Smoked that ball to take the lead.
Well, you come to the ballpark every night and you know, and we've crooned this song so many times, you never know what's going to happen. It's a long season, but whether you're winning or losing, people say, well, yeah, things aren't going so well. Don't you kind of dread going? You never dread coming because there's always going to be something potentially that you haven't seen before. Now, who would have come to this game tonight and thought there are going to be 3 home runs hit by the Padres, and you name the 3 guys? If you came up with Latos, Patterson, and Rob Johnson, you should get a can full of Frazee money for guessing those 3.
Good for Robbie.
Last home run for him was in May of last year for Seattle against the A's, Ben Sheets. Headley fouls that one down the right field line. That'll go out of play. Chase did not start. Jorge Cantu hit cleanup, started at third. Jorge went 0 for 3 and a walk. Headley battling that virus, perhaps lingering more than any other player that was afflicted in that clubhouse. And the big smile from Mike Adams. This is his game to win now. 3-1 to Headley. Chase getting one of those rare chances to bat right-handed. He's 5 for 22 from the right side. And Heath Bell starts to loosen up. Broken bat, line drive, base hit. Boy, he got a lot of wood on that one, considering it was a shattered bat. Part of it went almost to third base. Headley with the 11th Padre hit tonight.
Looked like something down and away, almost like a changeup. Chase hits it off the end of the bat. You can hear that snap all the way up here. Good for Chase Headley.
That brings up Denorfia, who entered the game as a pinch hitter, placed in the 9th spot in the batting order, and it was his infield chopper that went for a base hit that started the 2 runs in the 7th inning. So pitching change made by Clint Hurdle. Padres have reclaimed the lead at 6-5. Headley at first, 1 out in the 8th inning. highly regarded youngster picked in the first round, the 4th overall pick by the Pirates 4 years ago. He's 25, from Greenville, South Carolina. Named to the San Gabriel Valley and Inland Valley All-Star team, a Californian, and then pitched at Clemson University. Last year at Indianapolis was 0-5. Ryan Domit takes over behind the plate on the double switch. So Domit will hit in the 9th spot in the order. Ground ball, could be 2. There's 1, and back to first, and DeNorfia first ball hunting. That's what got Cantu as well. Grounds into a 6-4-3 double play. So the Padres settle for the home run by Rob Johnson, his first as a Padre, into the left field seats. And we go to the 9th with Padres up 6-5. The pitch in the 9th inning to face Brandon Wood, Ronnie Cedeno, and Ryan Domit, as Bell trying to continue his string of successful saves. If he can get 3 outs and save this win tonight, it'll be 41 straight conversions to tie the San Diego Padre record set by Trevor Hoffman. Hoffman's 41 in a row from August '97 through July of '98. Three right-handed hitters scheduled for the Pirates. Wood up once and sacrifice, came in for Alvarez. Takes a strike. Starts him with a curveball.
The power curveball from Heath Bell. Oh, right-handers hitting 107 off Heath. 3 for 28.
Ooh, 96.
Pretty good heater, huh?
Headley at third, just a couple of steps off the foul line, making sure that the ball doesn't get down the line for an extra base hit. Powers another fastball, 2-1. Carries the count on his back. Curveball fouled out of play. Wood, 3 hits and 13 at bats, has 1 double. And the count goes full, so the self-proclaimed drama king comes in and has a full count right off the bat. And he walks him. Lead-off walk so often can be fatal. That's what the game started with, McCutchen walking and a bunt single by Xavier Paul, and before you could blink an eye, Neil Walker had chased home 2 runs with a double to deep center field.
Buddy Black down the bottom step of the dugout, just making it aware to the infield. Just be aware of the bunt. Probably hitting right here. Pittsburgh on the road. You don't want to try to play for the win on the road. He's going to bunt though.
Hard bunt to Hop, but he'll just take the easy put out of Cedeno as Wood slides into second base. Well, the 2 innings in which the Pirates have scored runs started on leadoff walks. McCutchen in the first, they scored 2. The walk to Snyder led to a 3-run inning off Gregerson in the 7th. Let's see if Bell can get the final 2 outs. Ryan Domit, first time we've seen him in the series. Power hitting left-handed bat, catcher. In the dirt, there goes the runner. The throw, they might have a chance here. They do! Oh my! What a throw by Johnson, a strike right on the bag. As they nail Wood trying to advance to third. So 2 out in the ninth.
Have a night, Rob Johnson. Doing it with the leather, doing it with the wood, and doing it with the arm. He smothers this one, comes up, snap throw, off balance.
Look at that. Oh, what a tag, too, by Headley, huh?
He got the short hop. Credit Chase Headley. Straddling the bag, short hop, get that leather down there, and erase that runner. You betcha, Robbie.
Well, great play at both ends. 2 outs then. Domit fouls it at the plate, and the count is 1-1. Be careful here. This big guy can tie it with a swing. He's got just 1 home run this year. We saw that when it was to deep center field. Outside, 2-1. Matt Latos, an interested spectator, went 6 innings tonight, allowed 2 runs both in the first inning, 5 hits, a couple of walks, struck out 5. Mike Adams is the pitcher of decision, as is Joe Beimel. That's a strike. And Domit and the Pirates are down to their final strike. Strike him out, but it gets away, or it's a foul tip. No, it isn't a foul tip. Johnson has to make the play at first, and he gets it. Domit, had he been running, would have made it, and Heath Bell rings it up, number 41 in a row to tie Trevor Hoffman. Longest run of saves by a Padre pitcher in history, and a tough victory earned tonight, 6-5. With the unlikely production home runs from Latos, Patterson, and that man, Rob Johnson, who throws out the potential tying run at third in the 9th inning. Boy, this game had something of everything. It'll be fun to assimilate it all, chew on it, and analyze the action from Petco tonight. 18,636 enjoying it, and we'll be back with the final total.